Welcome back. Now, we've discussed a bunch of fundamentals about computer vision problems and convolutional neural networks, but rather than talk to more slides, let's start to code them out. I'm going to meet you at colab.research.google.com. Just going to clean up some of these tabs. And I'm going to start a new notebook. And then I'm going to name this one, this is going to be 03 PyTorch Computer Vision. And I'm going to call mine video, so just so it has the video tag. Because if we go in here, if we go video notebooks of the PyTorch Deep Learning repo, the video notebooks are stored in here. They've got the underscore video tag. So the video notebooks have all of the code I write exactly in the video, but there are some reference notebooks to go along with it. So let me just write a heading here, PyTorch Computer Vision, and I'll put a resource here, see reference notebook. Now, of course, this is the one that's the ground truth. It's got all of the code that we're going to be writing. I'm going to put that in here. Explained with text and images and whatnot. And then finally is we've got C reference online book. And that is at learnpytorch.io at section number 3, PyTorch Computer Vision. I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to turn this into Markdown with Command MM. Beautiful. So let's get started. I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of this. How do we start this off? Well, I believe there are some computer vision libraries that you should be aware of. Computer vision libraries in PyTorch. So this is just going to be a text-based cell, but the first one is Torch Vision, which is the base domain library for PyTorch Computer Vision. So if we look up Torch Vision, what do we find? We have Torch Vision 0.12. That's the version that Torch Vision is currently up to at the time of recording this. So in here, this is very important to get familiar with if you're working on computer vision problems. And of course, in the documentation, this is just another tidbit. We have Torch Audio for audio problems. We have Torch Text for text. Torch Vision, which is what we're working on. Torch Rec for recommendation systems. Torch Data for dealing with different data pipelines. Torch Serve, which is for serving PyTorch models. And PyTorch on XLA, so I believe that stands for Accelerated Linear Algebra Devices. You don't have to worry about these ones for now. We're focused on Torch Vision. However, if you would like to learn more about a particular domain, this is where you would go to learn more. So there's a bunch of different stuff that's going on here. Transforming and augmenting images. So fundamentally, computer vision is dealing with things in the form of images. Even a video gets converted to an image. We have models and pre-trained weights. So as I referenced before, you can use an existing model that works on an existing computer vision problem for your own problem. We're going to cover that in section, I think it's 6 for transfer learning. And then we have data sets, which is a bunch of computer vision data sets, utils, operators, a whole bunch of stuff here. So PyTorch is really good for computer vision. I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on here. But that's enough talking about it. Let's just put it in here. Torch Vision, this is the main one. I'm not going to link to all of these. All of the links for these, by the way, is in the book version of the course, PyTorch Computer Vision. And we have what we're going to cover. Finally, computer vision libraries in PyTorch. Torch Vision, datasets, models, transforms, etc. But let's just write down the other ones. So we have Torch Vision datasets, something to be aware of. So get datasets and data loading functions for computer vision here. Then we have Torch Vision. So these all come from Torch Vision. Models is get pre-trained computer vision. So when I say pre-trained computer vision models, we're going to cover this more in transfer learning, as I said. Pre-trained computer vision models are models that have been already trained on some existing vision data and have trained weights, trained patterns that you can leverage for your own problems. Then we have Torch Vision transforms. And then we have functions for manipulating your vision data, which is, of course, images, to be suitable for use with an ML model. So remember, what do we have to do when we have image data or almost any kind of data? For machine learning, we have to prepare it in a way, so it can't just be pure images. So that's what transforms help us out with. Transforms helps to turn our image data into numbers so we can use it with a machine learning model. And then of course we have these are the Torch utils. This is not vision specific, it's entirety of PyTorch specific, and that's data set. So if we wanted to create our own data set with our own custom data, we have the base dataset class for PyTorch. And then we have finally Torch utils data. These are just good to be aware of because you'll almost always use some form of dataset / data loader with whatever PyTorch problem you're working on. So this creates a Python iterable over a dataset. Wonderful. I think these are most of the libraries that we're going to be using in this section. Let's import some of them, hey, so we can see what's going on. Let's go import PyTorch. Import PyTorch. So import Torch. We're also going to get NN, which stands for neural network. What's in NN? Well, in NN, of course, we have lots of layers, lots of loss functions, a whole bunch of different stuff for building neural networks. We're going to also import Torch Vision. And then we're going to go from Torch Vision, import datasets, because we're going to be using datasets later on to get a dataset to work with. From Torch Vision, we'll import transforms. You could also go from Torch Vision .transforms import toTensor. This is one of the main ones you'll see for computer vision problems, toTensor. You can imagine what it does, but let's have a look. Transforms toTensor. Transforming and augmenting images. So look where we are. We're in pytorch.org/vision/stable/transforms over here. So we're in the Torch Vision section and we're just looking at transforming and augmenting images. So transforming, what do we have? Transforms are common image transformations available in the transforms module. They can be trained together using compose. Beautiful. So if we have toTensor, what does this do? Convert a pill image or NumPy ND array to a tensor. Beautiful. That's what we want to do later on, isn't it? Well, this is kind of me giving you a spoiler, is we want to convert our images into tensors so that we can use those with our models. But there's a whole bunch of different transforms here, and actually one of your extracurriculum is to read through each of these packages for 10 minutes. So that's about an hour of reading, but it will definitely help you later on if you get familiar with using the PyTorch documentation. After all, this course is just a momentum builder. We're going to write heaps of PyTorch code, but fundamentally, you'll be teaching yourself a lot of stuff by reading the documentation. Let's keep going with this. Where were we up to? When we're getting familiar with our data, matplotlib is going to be fundamental for visualization. Remember, the Data Explorer's motto, visualize, visualize, visualize. Become one with the data. So we're going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And then finally, let's check the versions. So print torch.version or _ version and print torch vision. So by the time you watch this, there might be a newer version of each of these modules out. If there's any errors in the code, please let me know. But this is just a bare minimum version that you'll need to complete this section. I believe at the moment, Google Colab is running 1.11 for Torch and maybe 1.10. We'll find out in a second. It just connected. So we're importing PyTorch. Okay, there we go. So my PyTorch version is 1.10 and it's got CUDA available and Torch Vision is 0.11. So just make sure if you're running in Google Colab, if you're running this at a later date, you'll probably have at minimum these versions. You might even have a later version. So these are the minimum versions required for this upcoming section. So we've covered the base computer vision libraries in PyTorch. We've got them ready to go. How about in the next video, we cover getting a data set? I'll see you there.